fun, Bo, to see the Luther Springs folks doing the milk song. And I understand that that's your favorite camp song.
That is my favorite camp song.
Ha.
And as a matter of fact, it's also my favorite thing to drink.
Oh, I love that. Love those little cartons for camp lunches and breakfasts. So good. So we're excited to tell you that we have another awesome camp story from Michael, who was on staff at Luther Springs and actually serves on our alumni network board. And so, Michael, we would love to hear your story now.
Hi, my name is Michael Gentis, and I grew up as a camper at Luther Springs and later worked there as a counselor from summers 2007 through 2011. My wife and I even met at camp, and we now live in Denver, Colorado. Probably like you, camp has taught me a lot of valuable lessons over the years. Lessons such as how to properly T-grip a canoe paddle so you don't hit yourself in the face with said paddle, or why it's important that we don't wave around marshmallows on skewers when they've become flaming globs of burning sugar. But perhaps the best lesson I learned at camp was the power of community. Everyone in a camp community has a part to play, something to contribute towards, something to benefit from, to learn from, to grow with, to be challenged on, to laugh about, and most importantly, to belong to. The beloved community that camps like Luther Springs and Luther Ranch and Luther Ridge and Luther Rock foster lit a spark in me and my faith to know that building strong communities is one of the best ways that we can show our love towards our neighbors. It's this lesson of community, the notion that everyone should be part of a community that loves them, that challenges them, that they belong to, is something I've carried with me in my career as an HR professional and one that my wife lives out as an educator. And even though it's been nearly 20 years since I was first a camper at Luther Springs, the camp community all these years later is still a grounding source of faith and friendship for me. And it's exactly this power of intentional Christian community why we're working to build up the summer staff alumni network for Know This Way. So when 5, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 plus years have passed after somebody has worked on a summer staff, alumni and supporters of camp can still feel that same spark of community that I and so many others have been lucky to benefit from.
Michael, thanks for sharing your story. It's really important for us to hear that while lots of folks who are on staff end up in rostered or vocational ministries in the church, a lot of our folks use the resources that they and the skills they learned at camp as a counselor in their vocations out in the world. And Michael, being in human resources, is doing that. And I just love hearing that. It just shows the reach that camp has out into the communities that we move out into after we're on staff. So I know this is an important day for us, Bo, and I'd love for you to share with our friends at home what this day means for the ministry.
Well, this day of giving is the official launch for our Light the Fire appeal, which is meant to be a bridge appeal to get us through this temporary crisis up to summer camp 2021.
Yeah, and I know another really important part of this that you're super excited about is the challenge gift that we have. It's not a match gift for gift. It's a challenge for each of the gifts that come in today. So would you tell our friends about that and how important that is?
That's right. Well, one of our longtime donors and friends and former board members has been very generous to offer to give $200 for every gift that we receive, up to 500 gifts, which is our goal today, which would mean that would be an additional $100,000 for this day of giving. We intentionally emphasize the number of gifts, not the size of the gifts, because we're trying to emphasize recurring giving and donor support as the long-term sustainability model for the ministry. As we get through this crisis, as we bridge the gap to summer 2021, we're trying to engage our constituent base, our donors, our friends, our supporters in a way that really sets us up to succeed and minister long into the future.
Yeah, and I think that's a good word for people. Often, like your churches, when you tithe and you give on a regular basis monthly, your congregations can budget and they can plan on that. And having an emphasis on recurring giving gives the camping ministries an opportunity to do that as well. And it sets us up to be stronger if something like this would ever happen again. And so that's why we actually had a goal of increasing our recurring giving before COVID happened. And now it's just showing us how important that is. So whether you make a recurring gift today and start that today, or whether you give above and beyond gift, a one-time gift today, that counts as part of our $500, and that is going to be matched, or it's going to be an extra $200 on top of that gift, whether it's $5, $50, or $500, an extra $200 from that generous donor. So let's get to that 500 goal. Let's maximize that challenge, friends. We used to like to say at camp, challenge accepted when I was on staff. And so let's challenge accepted and get to that 500 goal. Thanks a lot. We'll be back at the next hour.
Thank you all.